save us $1,500 on the lawsuit. So we want to get a copy of that administrative record. Now, what we are looking at cost-wise, let's go through this a little bit. This is what we're looking at cost-wise, and this gets us to May. We are looking at approximately $7,500 to fund the lawsuit. And Linda just made a payment of like $2,500, so kind of down payment on this issue for what's been done so far. We're looking at, we probably need to bring in another $5,000 before May to fund this next part. So obviously we'll keep working on fundraising. And let's see, what we're looking at in the long haul, we're probably looking at a hearing or trial date of November 1st of this year. And this, in the end, we feel like that will probably be after the Kehoe legislation passes through the state legislature. It will be before the Kehoe legislation goes into effect, which will be January 1st of 2010. But I think that timing of our lawsuit fits in fine with with Kehoe's legislation. Okay, so let's see. That completes the legal update. Did anybody have any questions on that?
It's nice to have that unanimous vote in the committee, but there'll be enormous pressure applied before it makes it through the actual legislative process.
Yeah.
There'll be hell to pay before that's allowed to happen easily.
I believe the city council has to vote to fund a suit like this. If that is the case, I suspect there might be 4 votes to just say that they will not fund it. And under the conditions that they would not fund it, I'm sure that we would agree that if they were to remove the designation of blight and say they weren't going to trouble you, that you would remove your suit. Am I not correct in that?
Well, I suppose we would remove our suit if they removed the blight designation. But the other, and of course our issue is we need eminent domain removed from the project area.
Yeah, well, if they don't have blight,
to clarify,
yeah.
this is eminent domain for private gain, not eminent domain for building a road or a public use.
Yeah, nobody disagrees with that. And I must say that I'm very happy to hear that Fletchers are out of the suit.
Right. So, and like I said, I think that clarifies our purpose. That fits in with our original mission statement.
Yeah.
And so I think that's okay.
As I said, I think you may have the votes, maybe you know, but I think with the new composition...
Well, we are certainly looking for Marty Emerald to support us in closed session on this Grantville lawsuit. Now, they already did vote on this in November, as I recall, whether to defend the lawsuit or not. They did vote unanimously to defend the lawsuit. I had expected Donna Fry would be on our side. I talked to her at least multiple times through her office, through members of her office, and her decision is really based on a principle. She feels the city should be able to defend itself against lawsuits. So in the end, we feel our supporters on the city council at this point are Sherry Leitner, Donna Fry, ideally Marty Emerald.
Oh, and the conservative guy might also conceivably go with you. He's unpredictable.
Yeah, he might. I don't know that this is his issue just yet.
Yeah, I had a comment of encouragement. You had mentioned earlier about Jerry Brown's opinion and also the county's opinion or whatever was a certain way. My comment would be it's that way if a judge says it's that way.
Right. And so some have held out there that the Attorney General's opinion is conclusive, and it's not. It's an opinion. It's an opinion of a lawyer. What we're looking for, we need the opinion of a judge. And that's the thing that's going to be binding. And so Jerry Brown's, or Attorney General's, opinion, his decision on this is he's not going to get involved in this, which we didn't expect him to get involved. We know as a public interest lawsuit, our thing was going to his office anyway. And we knew as a public interest lawsuit, probably no way he's going to be involved anyway. So just sending it to the Attorney General is maybe more for show than anything else. But at least one of the paragraphs in his letter back to Christine Keough outlines our argument. and he questions if it's legal. So in the end, it helps our case. John?
Oh, maybe I'm a dreamer, but if the Textures are released and they originally were against the blight designation, maybe after the release, they will contribute to our cause.
Maybe. I'm not really expecting it.
Oh, no, but it's no harm in asking.
Yes. Evidently, in their settlement agreement, they have to agree not to further challenge the redevelopment designation, so I think they're pretty much on the sideline.
Okay.
Any other legal questions? Okay, I'll go to the last thing. I had a meeting with Dan Smith, the property owner that owns the buildings that are on the east side of Mission Gorge, or Fairmont, I'm not sure which the road designation is right there, but right near I-8, so where the pub is, and I don't remember the name of the pub in those other buildings. Not really sure of the purpose of the meeting. We talked, we don't agree on really that much. I think he was trying to convince me that eminent domain's good, and I really didn't see the logic so much unless you benefit directly from eminent domain, which he will, because they are going to, I guess, cut a road through his property. He told me how it helps him build more units. So anyway, that was that meeting. And I'm not sure what it really meant or boiled down to, but
Well, but
we did
under
it.
eminent domain, they could take the road, even if they got away from eminent domain, because it is for the good of the.
Well, right. I mean, you could go to any neighborhood and cut a road through, and it'd be within the Constitution,
Yeah.
strict definition of the
So-
Constitution.
You think that doesn't sound, the hell that he wants you for eminent domain for?
Well, they're going to pay him to build this road that lets him build more units than he could
That
otherwise.
road's gonna go through my property too, if
Well-
it goes through. I mean, there's still, it's a long way from here to there.
Yeah.
But there's, I mean, that's what they're talking about, coming
Yeah.
through his and ours.
Okay, so item number 3, Chris Pearson of Marty Emerald's office has a brief report.
Very brief, because one item is actually on the agenda. I just want to remind you that the Navajo Community Planners election is Monday night. Voting starts at 7, they cut it off at 8:15. And the city council is going to be voting on the money for the environmental impact report for Grantville redevelopment on Monday, March 30th. And that's about it for right now.
How much money are they talking about? Do they have a
Um,
number, or they just talking?
That recommendation hasn't come out yet, but probably $400,000 to $600,000.
Okay, and is that EIR, is it for, going to be for all of Grantville, like sub areas A and B and C, or just A?
I'm pretty sure it's the whole area.
Okay.
So, and it updates the plan that was done 5 years ago. So you're right, there's quite a history. I've got a lot to catch up on.
Thank you.